Okay, I'm going to make some last minute modeling adjustments to this character before getting him ready for print. And I'm going to start by grabbing my snake hook tool, and then I'm going to pull out some cheek definition, some cheekbones. Just trying to get away from that sphere look that we had earlier. Not too much, but yeah, he's looking a little more nefarious. Down here and clean up some of these details. Just using the H polish and smooth, just cleaning up some of these weird bumps. And I'm going to add some details right here using just the standard brush and then smoothing out. And I'm going to add these interesting little, rounded areas around the top teeth. Going to my clay buildup tool and sculpting around those. Sweet. And smoothing the outer edges. The same for this guy. Cool. All right, I think I'm done with this guy. So next on the list is we're going to get his poly count down to a reasonable level, but we're going to maintain all of the detailing. And the way that we can do that is come over here to Z plugins, dock our menu by clicking this little guy over on the side, and then look for decimation master. Click on that, and then we're really only concerned with a few buttons and a slider here at this 20% decimation. So it's going to drop it to 20% of what its total poly count is right here. So we're going to hit pre-process current. And this is going to take some time. Usually it only takes a couple of minutes depending on how high poly the model is. So I'll probably skip ahead. Okay, so now the file is pre-processed. I don't really know why they separate these two functions. Honestly, I wish that it was just one button that you had to click. Anyway, so we've pre-processed and now we have to hit decimate current. And this should only take a second. Now, if I show you the polyframe on our character, you can see that it's decimated our geo. It's kept the detailing where the detailing needs to be, and in the smoother areas, it's added less polygons. And so it's actually gotten our poly count down from, I think it was 1.5 million to about 887,000. So it's gotten it down quite a bit, and this is a very reasonable poly count for our slicing software. Okay, so we're done with that. The next thing is just to get this character scaled to real world scale. And to do that, in our Z plugin menu, we're going to go to Scale Master, and then we're going to change it to inch, and then we're going to what is it? Set scale sliders to subtool size, I believe. Okay, so this is saying that on X, the entire character, so this direction is only 0.3 inches. So it's well under a half inch wide, and we want it to be 3 inches wide. So in order to get that, we're going to type 3 right here, and then it'll update all of the ratios, and then we're going to hit resize subtool. Okay, awesome. So now, in theory, this should now be 3 inches wide. And let's test this by running an export and taking it into our slicing software. So I'm going to export this. Oh, one thing to keep in mind is make sure that you hit Control W in your view. Oh, this is okay. Hit Control W to polygroup the entire model when you export. Because sometimes when it exports with multiple groups, it breaks those up into separate pieces, and we do not want that. So always just make sure that everything is one polygroup. Go to Export, and then we will find where we want this guy to go. And I'm going to overwrite this guy, and then it's exporting now. And that's in an OBJ format. You can do multiple formats. I prefer OBJ. You can actually come over here to the 3D print hub and you can just export like an STL or a Vermal or whatever you need. But I like the OBJ. So, okay, so I'm using Chitubox now. This is a free software you can just go and download. Um, and I'm going to open the file up. And grab the OBJ. And bam. Okay. So this is it looks accurate. It looks like this is 3 inches wide. I think my build window is about 8 or 9 inches. So this is yeah, this is looking good. And so while we're in here, I'll just show you how this software works briefly. We can orient our model by clicking over here and dragging these circles. We can move, do whatever we need to. And then we need to add supports to this. So if I come over here to the top right corner and click on this button, I usually just leave these. You can get optimal settings for all of the resin types on the Chitubox website. So there's some there's default settings for each printer for each resin setting. So you have to kind of iron out those details and figure out what resin you're using and what are the optimal settings. But for me, I'm going to use these settings. I'm just going to click all, and this will actually just add the supports that I need. Bam. And next, I'm going to save this file. Saving. Let's do intro main print. And I'll just save it like that. And next we have to hit slice. And what this is actually doing is slicing each individual layer of your geometry to be able to send to your printer. Okay, cool. So if we drag this slider, we come down, we can see the different slices of our model. Looks like it's going to take 4 hours and 3 minutes ish. And I'm printing on the Saturn II at 8K. So I hit save, and then I don't have my flash drive in, but you export that to your flash drive that comes with your printer, plug that in, it's ready to rock. So those are the basic steps. In the next video, I'm going to show you the finished 3D print file, and we're going to wrap this up. So thanks for joining me, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you in the next video.